I'll go home as a beggar and never be your wife.
Hi, I'm Mary.
And I'm Katie, and this is The Housewife Did It.
Pop Culture Edition.
Ooh.
I to say something spicy. Um, if you like our show, you can like, subscribe, share, comment, repost, follow, review, and then if you have also had a spicy lunch, you can go over to Deutsch Foods and use the code HDI20 for 20% off your order of something sweet, cookie dough.
Mhm.
We also have a code for Every Jules, which is spelled EVRY Jules. And that code is Mary788 for money off of your jewelry order.
I said this on True Crime, but we record True Crime first and then it comes out after, so we sometimes do our big ones on the intro for that one. So I will beg here also, we are close to 200 followers on Instagram. It would be very helpful if we could hit that so that we can start doing trial reels. So please give us a follow, ask your friends to give us a follow, and that's all. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. So tidbits, and then I'm in a very cynical mood when it comes to reality TV since the last time we spoke, so we'll see how this goes. Might be sad. um, okay. Tidbits, House of Stassi comes out next week. Or when you're listening to this, comes out this week. The new Roni trailer has been released, so Jessel, Aaron, and Sai are returning, and Carol Radziwill will be joining them. Apparently, her involvement in the Epstein files will be a topic of discussion for the season. So that's cool. It's infiltrated my
No
safe
JFL.
place. No. No.
Have you watched Survival of the Thickest on Netflix?
Mm-mm.
So Garcelle is in that show. She's like in the first couple seasons, like a pretty big character. And then in this season, Jenna Lyons was on it as herself, and Candy Burris was on it, but she was like acting as someone
Oh,
else.
interesting. Weird crossover.
I don't know.
On the In the City reunion, Amanda, this is really my only takeaway from this. Amanda admits that she and West have not really said I love you, but have exchanged some illies. Which I think really like makes a lot of sense for their relationship.
And then yesterday he posted a picture of her and said, "Happy birthday, twin."
Yes, this like very like the whole point is that it's like way edited.
Yeah.
Very strange. But what also Wes posted, he posted a video story of him just like talking about how trans athletes are not a threat to athletics and society, which like rock on. Yes, sir. And we know that West is like a lib and he's shared these ideas before. But this makes simply no sense because his podcast co-host on a podcast where he talks about athletics, allegedly, that's what they're supposed to be talking about. His longtime friend, conservative WNBA player Sophie Cunningham, who literally said it is common sense to bar trans athletes from women's sports. So like, I don't understand.
Right, we're like, is this you like soft launching the end of your podcast?
Yeah, I don't like
the podcast that you lost your job over, basically.
Yeah. I'm like, I just like don't understand how like yeah, you're gonna and I like looked up her specific. I knew she was like MAGA, but I specifically looked up her take on trans athletes because I was like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's MAGA except for this. Maybe she like doesn't believe this. No, she does.
And
So
she
like,
recently said it.
yeah.
So then it kind of feels
the
like
article
he's
I
like,
saw was from like 2 days ago. So like,
yeah,
is
so
it a
then
response to her?
right. That's my thought. Is it feels like it's in response to her, but then
But like, this also can't be shocking to you that she
right.
feels that way. I would think.
Right.
Y'all talk about women's sports all the time, and it's like never come up. I don't
Right.
understand. I guess also we can briefly mention the TikTok Amanda and Wes made, poking fun at the pregnancy rumors. So they just think they're hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's like we get everyone tells us in the city reunion she sings a different tune, she feels bad, she's not defensive, whatever, and it's like, but when she says things like, I can't go back and change it, or like, we feel really bad or whatever, but like, you don't.
You
Like, you
don't,
literally
right.
don't,
That's the
because
thing.
then you're continuing to do this.
Right.
And like, what everyone wants from her is for them to break up, and like, she's
Right.
not going to do that, but like, there's somewhere in the middle between like breaking up and posting jokes all the time about this. Like, you could just chill.
Right. Like, people were like, when during the summer house reunion, like, this would play out a lot differently for Amanda if she just like admit she's wrong and apologize. And I'm like, but in my opinion, it wouldn't, because she is actively dating him, and like,
yeah. But even
she
if
can't
you
come
were
out here and
actively
be like,
dating him,
I'm
but
so
like,
sorry, like I made a mistake. Like, you're
then,
continuing to make that mistake and doing it in everyone's faces.
yeah. Even if she were to continue dating him, but like keep it, like, yeah, out of it, like, it's just like, and you're making jokes about like the commentary,
Right.
the internet commentary, like, that is weird, and like, you've not learned anything.
Right.
There is a new show coming to Netflix called Let's Marry Harry. It's literally just Harry Jowsey playing The Bachelor.
Mhm.
So that's cool. Okay. Let's start with our first unethical reality TV show currently, The Valley. We continue to watch some very gross content from Danny, Nia, Kristen, and Luke. Janet opened up to Lala about a sexual assault that happened to her in her childhood, explained that this has a lot to do with why she can't let up on Danny about sexually assaulting Jasmine. I want to be very clear, like, I was very impressed with Janet. She is not saying, like, oh no, it, like, triggered me and caused me to, like, behave poorly. She's saying, because of what happened to me, I simply can't call it anything other than what it is.
Right.
Like, for myself, for other survivors, for Jasmine, I cannot. And like, I didn't need to hear that she had been through something. As a woman, I just kind of assume she has, or is close to someone who has. Like, we're all in proximity to sexual assault in our lives, right? Or like in proximity to fear of sexual assault. And so I think it totally makes sense that it would be like somewhat therapeutic to her even to say, like, I am now an adult and I have agency and I am going to call this sexual assault because it is. And when I was a kid, I wasn't able to. And I didn't have the language for this, and no one else called it what it was. And so, like, I mean, obviously we've said this before, but like, the big hoopla is the language she used to describe what something actually is. Like, I don't need the language to be used. Like, if you said, like, for example, like Kyle Cook, when he's like, I acted inappropriately, I don't need him and Amanda to say he cheated for me to say he cheated.
Right.
Because that sounds like exactly what happened.
Right.
I don't need Janet to say that Danny sexually assaulted Jasmine, because when I hear that he touched Jasmine without her consent, I know what happened. I know that he sexually assaulted Jasmine. So, like, I think they just, like, a little bit, Kristen, like, takes us for fools, and it's like, no, don't say it to the audience. Like, that hurts his reputation. No, him sexually assaulting Jasmine hurts his reputation, babe. Like, As soon as we heard that happened, his reputation was hurt. Danny, Luke, and Kristen all said essentially in one way or another that Janet's past trauma is not an excuse for her behavior, that they're not even sure that they believe her, and that it just seems very convenient. Lala is disappointed in this. She has to pull Kristen for a one-on-one to say, like, look, I'm not going to share Janet's story with you because it's not mine to share, but you should care about this, like, knowing I know you and, like, things you've been through, and, like, I suggest, which I feel like there's a little bit of, like, fourth wall breaking undertones that are like, I suggest you get on the right side of this. Like, this is going to air, and it's going to look really bad for you.
Mhm.
And it's going to feel really bad for you, and you're going to feel a lot of regret when you hear what happened to her.
Right.
And, like, to Lala's face, which I feel like it's such, like, she's so taking a page out of Nia's book at this point to just, like, be fake to people. But, like, to Lala's face, she's like, oh my God, like, thank you so much for coming to me. Like, I trust you so much. And, like, I love the way you came to me. And, like, I totally hear you. And, like, I won't say anything else to her. Right, boop bop, over to her confessional. And she's like, my issues with Janet are unrelated to Janet's trauma.
Mhm.
Also, what? I was under the impression
that she was saying.
Yeah, but I also was under the impression, Kristen, that your issues with Janet are about the way she treats Danny. And thus are related to her trauma. So, like, I don't understand. And then, like, for Kristen to have to say to Lala, like, well, I'm not going to bring this up to her. No shit, you're not going to bring this up to her.
Yeah.
No one's asking you to go to her. She doesn't want to talk about this with you. Y'all are not friends.
Right.
Danny, on the after show, shares that he has been 6 years without porn, but that he and Nia have a tape of their own, which she endorses and says, but it will never get out. It will never be shared. You better hope that you don't piss that man off. I'm just saying. Yeah. This is Danny's quote. Obviously, we're all men. We're visual. It's
All?
a Billy. I think in the after show, he's probably sitting with, like, Luke and them. Obviously, we're all men. We're visual. It's $1 billion industry. I was like, I want to not do this and not have this part of my life and let it go and love and respect my wife as much as I can. Plus, being a person of faith, I felt conviction, that type of stuff. I've been nothing for 6 years. It's his way of saying, I've been not watching porn for 6 years. I've been nothing. Been off the lamb. I don't know. On lamb? I don't know.
On the lamb means, like, you're on the run.
Oh, never mind.
He's on the wagon.
Yes. Most people on the after show either, like, didn't believe him or, like, Janet just talked about her, like, own porn preferences. She said, like, I don't watch a lot. I got a really hot man at home, but, like, if I'm gonna watch, I watch girl on girl porn because that's what I don't have at home. And, like, pop off sister. Then Kristen, though, continued to sing his praises, which she said, because I think her after show pairing is probably her and Nia, because that's the only fucking person who wants to be around her. Kristen said, how precious is that? He's not like, I want to watch Pornhub. He's like, I have videos of my wife and I. You guys are so cute. I guarantee if Luke and I set up a movie studio, he would still watch porn. And so would I. That's so cute. Is crazy. That's actually crazy. Also, I don't think what Danny is saying is that, like, he watches him and Nia's video in lieu of porn.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just kind of wanted us to know that they took a video.
Yeah.
Like, you know. For the first time, though, on Watch What Happens Live, Kristen said she saw things watching the show back that she had not witnessed and that she cannot condone some of Danny's behavior. And then she went in the comments and talked a lot about how, like, people are allowed to make mistakes, though. So, I just...
Which, like, we knew she would do.
Yeah.
Because that was her thing the whole season was, well, I haven't seen him talk to her that way. And we're like, well, you will, because it's happening.
And I feel like the
but
only
it's not
thing
gonna
she
matter.
doesn't like is when he was, like, asking Nia for sex. I think that's probably the thing that she's like, oh, I can't condone that.
Yeah.
Because she's not having sex with Luke. And so
Right.
then, like, that is, like, something that's, like, personal to her. Any other thoughts about the Valley, the Danny of it all?
Luke saying crazy Kristen in therapy was absurd.
He said, I've never met Kristen pregnant before, was crazy.
It was like, the therapist said,
oh,
it's a big statement.
Yeah. And, like, I, like, understood that, like, Kristen was trying to say, well, none of these things were a problem when you proposed, and he's trying to say, like, correct. Like, I would not have proposed if I didn't think there might be not a wedding. But, like, now that we've had all these issues, like, I'm thinking that. And I get that, but oh my god, he fell right into that trap and said, well, I had never met pregnant Kristen before. Whoa! That's crazy. And then the fucking clip of the next episode where she's like, but you want me to have a baby already? Like, I don't understand. And he's like, well, we might as well just get it over with. Like, him and Danny are kindred spirits. They, like, this foursome is my absolute freaking nightmare. I hate these people together.
Like, he's like fighting barely to keep this relationship alive because they have a child now.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a way out, and he wants to have another one.
Yeah, like, his philosophy.
Like, you know, like, Luke can see that this isn't going to end well.
Yeah.
They're not going to spend the rest of their lives together. He knows that.
Yeah.
He's already having to, like, justify.
And you don't even want to live in the same state. So like, why would you want two kids?
He's trying to justify how that's going to affect their daughter, knowing that this was a bad decision. And then he's like, let's do it again.
Yeah, I think it's, like, very, like, I feel like that's very, like, Danny in his ear, and him feeling, like, he, literally what he's saying is, like, I don't want us to, like, get good again, and then have to deal with this again 3 years down the road. Let's just get all of the bad right now. You be a crazy bitch, you be pregnant and rude and whatever, we'll have all the kids we want, and then later, and it's like, that's just gonna push back their wedding. But B, you're already threatening to not have a wedding right now. Why would she be like, yeah,
right?
This is how I'll lock down a wedding, is by doing this again. Also, and he says he can't do this for any longer. He can't do this for any longer. Except apparently he can do it for 9 more months, right? At least.
And, like, I've heard that what makes really good parents is trying to have all of your bad experiences while they're really young, all at the same time, and then fixing it later.
Yeah, totally.
Genius.
Yeah, and, like, I'm, like, floored by, I was, like, kind of shocked to hear that that's even what he wants, because, like, that sure didn't seem like it the whole rest of the season. No. Like, he's like, I don't know if I can even last another minute with this woman, and now he's like, well, I want to last another trying to conceive period, which was hard, and another pregnancy, and another era of postpartum. So, like, I would like another 2 years of this, please.
Because Kristen's what, 40?
Yeah. So, like, I would like another at least 2 years of this to then decide if it's so bad that we can't get married.
But then the other thing is, like, this is, like, him once again not caring about Kristen and, like, her well-being. That, like, you're asking a woman who just had a baby. It was really hard for her to conceive, and it was after the loss of a pregnancy, who's already very uncomfortable in her body and, like, trying to, like, get back into a regimen and routine, to just throw that all away for another, for lack of a better term, geriatric pregnancy.
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
going to have more complications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, like, why would Kristen want to have your second baby when you're saying you don't even know if you want to marry her?
Right. Also,
Like,
Lala
what?
already has his second baby.
True. Just head over there.
Right. She can see her whenever they
She
want.
will not put up with you, but sure. Yeah. I mean, I assume the answer is yes for you, but would you agree with the idea that, like, Kristen is fighting so hard for Nia and Danny because she thought that's what the audience wanted, and now she's backtracking a little on Watch What Happens Live because she thinks that's what the audience wants?
I think that Kristen was fighting so hard for Nia and Danny because that's what she wanted.
Okay.
She wants to be them.
Yeah.
That's what she wants for her and Luke. And now in hindsight is realizing that that's problematic, and that I do think that's why she's
barely backtracking. Yeah, I just saw a bunch of people saying, like, that the only reason she was even fighting so hard for them is because she saw how much the audience hated Janet last year, and so she wants to be, like, against Janet. But I feel like, I know she can't know what the audience thinks before the show comes out, but I feel like common sense tells you someone on the show is talking about a sexual assault experience. If you are being unempathetic to that, that's not gonna land well.
Yeah.
I
also,
fear.
Like, after season 1, in season 1, I feel like Danny was one of the more likable guys.
Yeah, he was. And I liked Nia. Like, I was like, why are we mad at Nia?
And, like, that just goes to show how awful Jax and Jesse were at the time. Yeah. And now I'm over here like, go Jesse.
I know.
How dare you
make
me root for that man?
I know. I was talking about their little divorce thing with Billy, and I was like, the thing about Jesse is, like, he's at least, like, a good dad. Like, I feel good about, like, him and Isabella and, like, his, like, attempts to co-parent and things. I don't think he's a good guy. Right. But, like, you know. But I'm just, it has just, it's become, like, abundantly clear that, like, what, also, let's take it back to season 1 where Nia and Danny were accused of being Republicans. Right. Clearly, yes.
I thought it was Michelle and Jesse that were accused of being Republicans.
Okay. Because Nia and Danny, of course, are Republicans. Right. But I mean, I think that, like, it just feels, like, abundantly clear that, like, this is now just, like, dangerous, and it's just, like, indoctrination, and it's just, like, horrifying, and, like, even, like, just the fucking vasectomy when he's like, daddy shouldn't be on his feet anymore now that mommy's home. Baby, can I just know too much, okay, about vasectomies, and that they are not hard. Like, I'm so sorry.
But
yeah. But, like, come on now. Like, that's so silly.
Today, when we went to the store, they're having a protest of what's it called?
ICE. War.
No, you wish. Circumcision.
Oh, okay.
And it's a bunch of men in white pants with red crotch stains. And I feel like that's, like, the kind of thing that, like, Danny is, like, that's how serious it is to him that he had to get a vasectomy.
Yeah.
That's also the visual. One of them was, like, on a hoverboard, though, in, like, the middle of the intersection, and just, like, literally making circles. And so, like, from behind, unassuming, and he turns around, and he's got blood all over his crotch, and you're like,
yeah. I will say, like, I am mildly anti-circumcision, but
I know, but
hate men also, protesting.
Right, but then they had a sign that said, "Your perfect baby needs his foreskin," and I said, "For what? Like,
leave my baby alone."
Yeah.
Also, yeah, it's just like the clip of him, like, getting it done and he's like
He's
pseudo-sexually
giggling. He's
harassing.
giggling.
But he's like partially like sexually harassing these people, like the nurse and the surgeon. Like he's like talking a lot about his dick. Like, stop that right now. Leave them alone.
This was so hard on me, and the doctor's like asking him questions, and he's like, hee.
Yeah,
And then he gets home, and he's like, I can't do anything.
I know. I've seen so many clips of men after vasectomies being like, that was so easy, I'm literally going to work. Like, yeah. I'm cool. Other than, like, sometimes they'll give you, like, medication, so then you can't go back to work that day, but, like...
I'd like to see Danny get an IUD placed.
Absurd. Alright. Moving on to Big Brother. Second in the list of possibly unethical reality TV. Rah rah. Let me just start by saying I make this complaint every year. So I went and got my Paramount Plus back. Lucky me, it was 99 cents for the first 2 months. So hopefully I don't have to do a whole lot after that. But let me say something. I don't understand what I'm paying for. It is a worse interface than fucking Tubi. It moves so slow. It lags all the time. And then, this is my favorite part, it will now just stop mid-episode and turn off my TV.
Oh.
The whole fucking TV turns off. So today, in order to prepare for this episode, I just watched it all on my fucking computer. I don't understand what is happening. We have redone the TVs. We've tried like a Roku versus our Xbox. Like, it's a nightmare. It happens every year. Plus. It's only Paramount Plus. It is horrendous. And you watch it live, right? So you
I watch it on Hulu.
Okay. So I'm like, I just don't. And thank fucking God I got it for 99 cents, because otherwise I'm paying $8.99 for this. And $8.99 is not bad, don't get me wrong, for a streaming service. But $8.99 to shut off my TV would be crazy.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's me yelling.
$100-something a month for this kind of Wi-Fi.
True. But I was like, I like accidentally hit the fucking live feed and I couldn't get out of it. And Billy was like, no, you know that the live feed is going to take more work for it. It can't do it. And I'm like, ah.
Billy's like, please.
It enrages me. I have to watch Big Brother by myself now because Billy simply refuses to be on Paramount Plus. It's a nightmare. Okay. Anyway, on to the actual show. I am actually glad to have been proven right. Angela, second season of microaggression riddled tirades. This time, a gay man as her victim. Jesus freaking Christ. This is what happens when you bring back this woman who called an Asian man crazy eyes. That's nuts. And then now you're shocked that she's talking to Jason that way. No, like, this is what she does.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of her. And like, obviously there's a world where Jason is like not offended by being called a messy bitch, but it's like all of her like trying to like turn her own voice, like whatever like the gay version of AAVE is, or a black scent. She is just like trying. I just was like, I can't. This is mortifying. Also, just like watching her roll around, I knew that the egg was gonna be awful. And she's like, America loves me. And then she tells America in the voting booth who to put in the next one.
She said, thank you for this.
Babe.
Even if it was because we loved you, that wasn't the goal.
Yeah.
That was a bad thing.
Also, like, you can only go in once. You can never go in again. So, like, maybe, like, I mean, I guess it's good for her, because now if America decides they hate her, it's too late. She's already gone in, but, like, come on now.
Mess.
Haley is caught on video saying that Melody talks ghetto. What?
I knew I didn't like her.
Yeah.
Didn't know why. But
Well, I knew I didn't like her when the man she chose was fucking Conor McGregor lookalike up in this bitch. I was like, Jesus Christ.
he has an image to uphold.
Yeah, that's my next point. Kamu and Devins were watching the camera downstairs and said, "Are those dudes dressed in women's clothing?" Which, like, shouldn't be a surprise because Jason already told you he's a drag queen and that he will put people in drag. So, like,
Yeah.
chill. And Kamu said, "They're gonna have to miss me with that drag stuff because I am still an MMA guy." Okay.
Because
Cool.
the MMA
Has a really
has
good
such high
reputation.
standards.
Yeah, yeah.
And then on the flip side, Drew is like, I hope that one day Jason gets to be on RuPaul's Drag Race.
I know. I guess that, like, the reason Jason can't say Selena's last name, partially because this is family TV, but also because, like, people might recognize the name, especially when Angela was like, "I better follow you," and Jason's like, "Ha! I hope you don't." Angela found out her son was gay, and she just followed every drag queen she could find.
Truly. I was like, that's like actually like something my mom would do.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, probably something she has done.
Yeah.
Drew is growing on me.
The hair,
The
I just
options
hate.
are not good.
The fucking Jimmy Neutron stuck your finger in an electrical socket hair is, like, not my favorite thing, but yeah, he's funny, I guess.
So cute.
I saw I saw a video of Lyric and Rome. Why is their couple named Lyme? Like Lyme disease.
Yeah.
I was like, who
Idiots.
decided this? But
Because
Big
they
Brother,
met each other and it was like freaking chronic.
one of them was like a freaking tick.
Like they stuck.
Yeah.
We can't separate them.
Big Brother posted a video of them, and it was like, he told her he really loves. Okay, everyone, don't judge me. I'm gonna sound like a hypocrite because of who my husband is. But he told Lyric he really loves Japanese culture, and he watches a lot of anime, like religiously, he says, and collects Pokemon cards. And then it's like this love song, but it's her going. She said, "Are you serious?"
That's
Honestly,
those are the good ones.
yeah, maybe the only likable thing about Rome at this point.
Yeah.
Baby girl.
Like I'm still alarmed by the I love yous.
Yes, yeah.
Maybe
yeah,
it's just that he's like got a touch of the tism.
Yeah. Yeah. Just fell in love real fast. So about the Kamu and Devin's comments about drag, Frankie Grande has called for these homophobic bigots to be kicked out of the house. Yeah. I mean, it happens every year, but I just was saying to Billy, like, Big Brother is just like the strangest amalgamation of, like, it's for the queers and it's for Republicans.
Right.
And I simply don't understand.
I was watching a clip from like Derek's season, and I was listening to Donnie, and I was like, it just like you always have someone like this. It's like Donnie talks like this and this, and then I saw another clip. It was like of JC and like where Sam was like, well, JC's just cuter than a bug's nose, but he's already said he's part of the LGBT community, so I guess not for me. And then she turned out to be the worst.
Yeah.
Like, she sucked. And so I'm like,
yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. Who is Christine, maybe? The blonde lady that got married to a woman after her show. But she, like, posted this year and was like, welcome to, like, Big Brother where, like, people are going to be accused. She was like, everyone still thinks I'm a racist because I hung out with people who said things that I couldn't control. And it's like, okay, I'm sorry, but, like, you be on this show and you be friends with racists, then,
Right.
like, I'm so sorry.
Have you seen the clip of Drew asking Dee why everyone forgot their bras?
No?
he said, how did like half the women in this house forget to pack any bras? And she started laughing and she said, they didn't forget to pack bras. And he
They
said,
don't want to wear them.
he said, they have them? And she said, they probably didn't bring very many because we're living in this house together, like it's our home, and at home we wouldn't be wearing them at all.
Yeah.
So they're doing it to be comfortable. And she said, could you imagine having to wear a bra all day, every day? And he said, I feel kind of safe. And she said, you feel safe? And he said,
Safe,
yeah,
but
it's
with
not
wire.
that bad. And she said, and she started laughing. He said, I could try one of yours one day.
That man wants to be in drag so fucking bad.
Maybe that's what Camus saw.
Did Jason bring, or can they request artificial
Silicone boobs?
Yeah, please. And make Camus fucking wear them. Come on, Haley, we need you, girl. Although I don't think we can count on you. People are shocked by how little, specifically for Devins, but how little Dee and Devin's Survivor experience seems to be helping them. They seem to.
Like
I
Cirie
think they're doing fine, but
yeah, Cirie said like it's a whole nother level of
well, and
hard.
I think Devins made like a good point that like in Survivor, like you are literally just trying to keep it absolutely hush that anyone is considering someone, because you then go into this like secret voting ceremony. But like in Big Brother, you're trying to convince people, like you're talking about this like a lot.
You
and
want
out
them
loud
to do what you want.
Yeah.
And you need them on your side.
Yeah. Mary's homegirl Ashley went home first, and then Rome went home second, which is great because he sucks.
Yeah.
So.
And what if I said I wanted to vote her for America's Favorite Player?
I don't think you'd be the only one. People love her so much. Okay, anything else from Big Brother?
No.
Okay. On to the ultimatum. How it got the headlining spot is a shock to me.
Not a shock to me.
No. So a new season of the Ultimatum just finished. I don't usually watch the Ultimatum if it's not queer love. Because for some reason it just doesn't hit the same with the straight people.
No.
Mary texted me and said, can't wait to talk about it. And I said, I don't want to watch it. And then she said, you don't have to. But then the internet made me think, oh yeah, I do. So, the Ultimatum, along with this newest season of Married at First Sight, which I have not watched, but have seen commentary on, they have been spurring a lot of conversation. And like even on the heels of like this season of Love Island, the men on dating shows are clearly more and more entrenched in the manosphere. Misogyny is just running absolutely rampant, and women are just putting up with it more than we've ever seen before.
And women are in danger.
Yeah, for sure. On Married at First Sight, one woman described herself as conservative, and when asked how conservative, like January 6th conservative, she said, remind me, what happened on January 6th? Which I guess could be considered a good sign.
Yeah. I also, though, kind of crazy that, like, one of the, like, what do they call them? Like, love experts?
The therapist people, yeah.
Her that. Like, that.
And what if she said she was there?
And then they
what
let
are you
her
gonna
on the show anyway.
Yeah. If she said, actually, I have a whole page for January 6th in my scrapbook.
Right.
What were you gonna do? So, on the Ultimatum, we immediately start the season with Jebin slipping his ex an aggressive and disrespectful letter, and then he was asked to leave. He was mostly asked to leave because the way he spoke, it didn't sound like he was going to, like, give a trial marriage a shot. Speaking to each other secretly off camera is, like, not allowed, although happens a whole lot. And they didn't think he could uphold the integrity of the show, whatever. They also were like, Alex, good chance like, we all think you should dump his ass.
Right.
But then they said, but you have to leave with him.
Yeah.
So really no surprise that we find out at the reunion that they actually did just continue dating because he apologized to her. But I don't know. When they first kicked him off, I was like, okay, like they're gonna find a way to keep Alex. But then I was like,
Right.
then one person would have to leave, whoever like doesn't get paired up, and then that would kind of defeat the purpose of like then coming back. You know, like the point is to then have your second trial marriage with your.
Last season, there was like
There we go.
everyone got paired up. So like the first season, like 3 people proposed at the switch or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then last season, everyone did pair up and start their trial marriage. But there was one girl who her trial husband like made her uncomfortable, and she was like reaching out to her ex about it, and so they decided to leave together. And so then each of their partners were like single. Basically.
Yeah.
And so, and it was like, because they had already paired up, like that they went through the whole trial marriage period single.
Mm-hmm.
And they talked, and then like afterwards they like, it was I think harder because their ex had been with someone and they hadn't, so like they didn't have anyone like in the back of their mind or whatever. And
Yeah.
so like I think they've seen that that's not work.
Yeah. Yeah, so after Jevin and Alex were told to leave, well, okay, let me just say something else. I thought what was so weird from the jump about this letter was like he had this note pre-written in his pocket. They're having like a good conversation, and then I don't even remember what it was, but she said something that he did not like. And then he said, "Oh, and I have this letter for you." So he does tell us later at the reunion that he actually had 2 in his pocket. And I thought he was going to say one was a nice letter, one was a mean letter, and she did not earn the nice letter. But then he said the other one was actually worse.
Crazy thing to say out loud.
Yeah. Cool. Also, like,
and
how
like
did you
and
know?
she like
Because
clearly
he,
didn't
like,
know that.
Yeah.
Because then she was like,
yeah, and I'm also like, how did you know which one you were grabbing? Like, he didn't like look at it. He just, maybe they were each in yeah, he's like left less bad.
left less.
So after they get sent home, there are originally 6 couples, 12 people. So now there are 5 couples, 10 people. And so if people were not going to directly choose the person, if they weren't just going to wife swap, and they actually like chose different people from different couples, they could have all still paired up because it's still like an even number. I suspect that the white people were all gonna, minus Haley, but she's still with a white man, but like that the white people were all gonna pick each other anyway.
Yeah, I don't think nobody was picking Idris.
Yeah, like no one was gonna pick Idris. Maybe someone would have picked JG, but then like someone would have been stuck with the, like, it just would have been awful.
Yeah, they like tried to make it seem like someone was about to pick.
Like Luke
JG.
was about to pick.
Yeah, but
I was not about to pick that woman.
I was like, while he was talking, I was like, I didn't know he had even spoken to her.
No. Yeah. So then we get this like super dramatic Idris pretends to walk off, but actually he's going to get a ring so that he can propose to Jessica Grace. We find out we find out later that this was only because the girl he wanted to do a trial marriage with had just been asked to leave, Alex. And so he didn't want to be with anyone else, and
which is crazy.
He felt pressure.
Which is crazy because in the statement that they released on Instagram, they were like, it made it look like Idris only proposed after he thought Jessica Grace was about to enter into a trial marriage, blah blah, and like they're like that is not the case. These events and conversations happened hours apart, but then on the reunion, he's like, no, yeah, true. It's not because I thought she was entering into a trial marriage. It's because the person I wanted to be in a trial marriage with left.
Was gone. Yeah.
Worse, almost.
And, like, I guess a little bit of both, right? Like, if he thinks she's going to get into one, but he now doesn't have one that he wants, then he's like, oh, I guess we have to leave together. So they talk about how, like, awful, like, that they didn't even speak after that. But anyway, we'll get there. So the remaining 8 people pair up in foursomes, wife swap style, just boop, 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 boop. Which we've seen before. Usually it's not literally everyone, but it does happen. So let's just go through these people, mostly the men. Blake completely lacks the ability to share any emotions, like in a frightening, like sociopathic kind of way.
Yeah.
He's logical about literally everything, metaphors for everything. He wants to get married simply because that's the next box to check off in his life. They've been together the least amount of time. They've only been together for 1.5 years. And she's 23. They're not far apart in age. He's 26, but like still she's like very young. After the show, it came out that Blake was arrested for assaulting Haley. This also came up on the reunion. He claims that she put her hands on him. He had to stop her. She poured a beer on his head. All of the things. The charges were dismissed. He says, since the reunion and all of this, he says that they're still speaking to each other on a regular basis. They talk all the time on the phone. So if it was really so bad for her... Huh? Okay. If it was really so bad for her, then why is she still talking to him?
Right. And crazy to like say that if y'all are like actively talking every single day, crazy to just throw her under the bus like that.
Yeah, I'm also like, how is that not the same? Like, you're saying she put her hands on you,
right?
And you're still talking to her every day. So, like, I don't understand.
And then the Lachey's were like, well, anyway, let's all laugh.
Yeah.
Time for laughs.
Yeah. Blake spent his entire trial marriage coaching and educating Ashley on standing up for herself, but he did not take kindly to her standing up to him. He calls this manipulation. Cool. Yeah, I had to agree with Ashley that, like, the just throwing around of the word manipulation was getting a little crazy. Blake's partner, Haley, was paired with Ashley's ex, Killian. It was pretty clear early on that Killian wanted to fuck Ashley. The first night of their trial marriage...
Ashley or Haley?
Haley, yes, Haley. It was pretty clear early on that he wanted to fuck Haley. And, like, literally the first night of their trial marriage, he was like, I simply cannot believe that we have not kissed yet. Okay.
And she was like, and won't.
Yeah, no. So, at some point, Haley catches Killian texting his friends who were talking about how fucked up it is that she has not put out yet. But then they escalated to saying that they were all going to have sex with her. And change the show's history. Essentially, they thought it would be funny to gang rape her. Killian...
Hilarious.
Yeah. Killian did not ask his friends to stop, instead equating this to locker room talk. Weird, I feel like I've heard that somewhere before. Haley obviously didn't really like this, and she said she was done with her trial marriage, except that she wasn't. I think he did start to sleep on the couch, at least, but, like, you're actually out of your mind if you think that after a man was involved in conversations about gang raping me, that I'm going to be living in a locked apartment with him.
Right.
Absolutely not. I also think as much as, like, Blake is this, like, big... like, dude, super logical, whatever, that he wasn't, like, you're not staying there.
Right.
Like, he was a part of this, and he knows that we're talking about gang raping
Right.
his girlfriend, and he's like,
The woman he wants to marry.
yeah. Haley, Ashley, Killian, and Blake spent the whole time speaking to each other, which clearly not really a good strategy for the show. Right. Didn't really work out for either of them. But our other foursome, Luke, has paired up with Casey. Luke describes himself as traditional. His dad is a pastor. He says he is both cocky and confident, although also says that he's super insecure in his relationship. So confusing to me. Right. I kind of knew that it was coming, but like the kind of subtle, I guess, commentary that always seemed to surround Casey. So David when he's talking to Monica, Luke when he's talking about Monica, everyone's talking about how Monica just like really, I just love this narrative every time. Like, you're goal oriented and you're a go getter because you take care of your body, because you're fit and you're healthy. And I'm like, we are giving Casey the fat edit?
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. She said at one point to Luke, she said, I feel like me and Monica are kind of like the same person. She's just smaller.
Yeah. And like, she says that like she has gained weight and this is like the largest she's been in a while. Like she says that to Luke when Luke talks about this like awful time in his life when he weighed more. Just horrendous. And okay. And so yeah, it was just like strange like to hear these men praising Monica for like her I don't know, discipline, I guess. Yeah. And being skinny.
But also, like, Monica is, like, petite.
Yeah.
Like, Casey's, like, the same height as Luke.
Right. And, like, David is ginormous.
Right.
And, like, big, giant basketball guy. And right. So, like, Casey is closer to his size.
Casey shouldn't be the same weight as Monica.
No. Oh, I was gonna say, like, somehow Luke, our traditional cocky, confident pastor child, seems to respect women the most out of this bunch. Nuts. Didn't see that one coming. Casey's ex, David, is paired with Luke's ex, Monica. Monica is attracted to David because he is more successful than Luke. He is more of a go-getter. He takes care of his body. He has more money. She's a business owner. She hustles a lot. David is a professional basketball player, apparently. And so, also, I'm so confused about the rings. Like, I thought the show supplied them.
Right.
But then they're, like, talking about his money. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe the show's ring was too cheap.
Yeah, he got her a new one.
He said, not good enough.
No.
I can spend more than that.
Yeah. Monica and David have this conversation at one point about how in his relationship, one should not have friendships with the opposite sex, especially if it leads to you being alone with them. Absolutely would never happen. Monica tried to explain that she has a male friend who she's been friends with since middle school. She does go visit him wherever he lives. And David got a little escalated, I will say. What's the sadness?
Nothing.
Oh. He said, this is not for lack of trusting his partner. This is for lack of trusting people around his partner. He got offended by Monica because if this is how he feels, it should just be respected. Although, we could go in circles about the fact that that would mean that how she feels about it is not being respected. So, I don't know. It seems confusing to me that, like, the rule is just well, if your partner thinks that you should respect it, well, then how do we handle disagreement? I don't understand. Yeah, it was just like icky the way that he was like, he was like floored by like, you would be alone with him? Like, I would never. And like in David's mind, this is him being like a protector. This is him saying like he's gonna keep her safe. But like also, I think something he should take into account is for her actual relationship with Luke, they've also been friends since middle school. So it's probable that Luke knows this person.
Right.
They're from the same town. And so like it might just not be that big of a deal to him. After seeing David back together with Casey, it does seem like they just have some pretty strict boundaries with each other about the opposite sex. And so, truth be told, like whatever works for them is fine.
Right.
If Casey also doesn't want them to be friends with the opposite sex and whatever, it was a little weird though that he was like trying to argue that he should be able to like girls' posts on Instagram. When I'm like, you know, you would lose your fucking mind if she was liking shirtless guy pics. But then he's like, I would like. She said like a thirst trap is different than like you on a beach, like with people. And he's like, I would like to post shirtless pics from the gym, and you need to respect how I feel. And she's like, okay. Yeah. I think that it just like means something to me that when you're talking to someone who is not actually your long-term partner, that you're getting so offended that a woman would suggest such a thing. Like,
that was my thought, was like, if this is his boundary with Casey,
his trial
they've
life?
already established in their many-year-long relationship, fine. But being like, you can't do that. Y'all aren't actually dating.
Talking in a week. Like, what the fuck?
We know y'all aren't dating. Like, that they're trying.
She's not gonna visit this guy tomorrow.
With they're like, my ex. I'm like, that's not your ex.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I'm also like, I guess it makes sense why when Luke and Casey were talking and Luke was like, I'm so confident that like my girl, if a guy wants to buy my girl a drink, like I don't even fucking care. Like save me $15, which you're not beating the broke allegations, buddy. But Casey was like, oh, really? And it like makes sense because it do not seem like David plays like that.
And David's not broke.
True. David's like, I don't need to save $15 fucking. Leave my girl alone. David says that Monica is a very independent, strong woman, and that he is looking for someone more submissive, which is good because she's not actually your partner.
Right.
So great, it works out. Everyone gets engaged to their original partners. Every whopping one of them. At the reunion, Luke and Monica are still together. Casey and David are still together. And in fact, they let Nick Lachey marry them. Oh my god. Jessica, Grace, and Idris discuss him trying to hit on Alex while he and JG were barely broken up. She also goes on to describe, well, doesn't describe them, but alleges that there were humiliation rituals that he made her participate in. But after the reunion aired, they announced that this actually brought them back together.
When he was like,
wild.
He was like, and we fucked. She was like, watch your fucking mouth. I was like,
well, okay, because I kind of feel like she knew where it was going, because he just said, like, we fucked. Like, he said it real aggressively, but he said we fucked. But then he's like, right after I busted, and she's like, Jesus Christ. I was like, oh my god.
Vanessa Lachey's like, I've never heard this language in my life.
And then Vanessa goes like, Dick Lachey. Jesus Christ, Vanessa, stop trying to be cool.
No, it's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
And then they said they pulled an Amanda Batula. They said, if you see us out living life, having fun together, please know we've moved on.
Yeah. And
we're dating.
Like, they have, like, kind of explained, they went on the Vile Files, they, like, kind of explained that when she referenced the humiliation rituals, that, like, she just meant, like, it was just her way of, like, describing the, like, fighting, I guess.
Humiliation ritual is a thing people say now.
Yeah.
And so, like, that was my first thought, but then,
Yeah.
like,
But then she
everyone was
got like
kind of
more
like,
specific.
yeah, and I
I
was like,
felt like she got more specific, and then when Vanessa said like, "Hey, can you explain that?" she was like, "I'm not gonna."
yeah,
I'm trying to think what she said right after. She said humiliation rituals and something and something. And I'm like,
oh,
what
this is like a
was it?
torture chamber.
Yes. He finds weird humiliation rituals, and she said like ways to punish her. Yeah, she said like,
Yes,
and you
punishment,
having
yeah.
me obedient. Yeah, that was what it was. That was weird. She said, don't put me through literal hell, have me performing humiliation rituals, have me being obedient to you, fucking punishing me. And like, if when Vanessa said, like, whoa, 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 you opened something, she could have said, like, I don't mean sexually.
Yeah.
I just mean, like, he is mean to me.
Right.
And, like, he wants me to do whatever he says. But she said, I'm going to close it right back. You don't need to know the details. Bitch,
Then
I know what you're talking about. Like, come on now. Like I said above, Haley and Blake are still speaking to each other despite being broken up and being accused of physically abusing each other. Killian and Ashley said on the reunion that they broke up mere months after getting engaged because he went back to his ways. She also alleges that he put his hands on her. But his Instagram, this is where I'm confused about, like, when was the fucking reunion filmed? Like, what is going on? Because his Instagram is full of posts of them as a couple in June and July. Like, it's like videos of her like being a good girlfriend to him, or like it's like very weird. I don't know if that was him just like trying to make us think
Like
that they
promo
were,
for the show.
yeah, that they were together, or she had said you've been messaging me up until 2 months ago. So then I'm like, I don't know. But or then I'm like, did they film the reunion and then start hanging out again and it was filmed that long ago? But they're clearly not together now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was very weird. Jebin and Alex, who, despite being kicked off the show for ruining the integrity of the show, were invited back to the reunion. Just real strange. Um, but they apparently did stay together after the nasty note he wrote her because he apologized. And because y'all literally made this woman leave and like go back to like, where did you think she was gonna stay?
Right.
I don't understand. So we find out that now they are broken up, but still kind of like besties, it seems, because he has moved to Puerto Rico and he doesn't want to be married for another 11 years. So,
Because he shouldn't have been on this damn show in the first place as a 23-year-old.
yeah, I thought it was crazy that when he said out loud, I shouldn't have been on this show because I would have busted down the door, that everyone was like, he. Jebin shouldn't have been on the show because he would have committed property damage and come in and assaulted somebody. Cool, haha.
Hee hee ha ha.
Okay. Anything else specifically about the ultimatum from you?
Y'all have to vet people better.
Yes, or my ending question is final thoughts about the direction of reality TV, especially reality dating, but like kind of at large, but of reality TV, like the direction that it's heading in as our society becomes more infiltrated with the manosphere and trad wives, and frankly, just like conservatism at large. Like, yes, vetting could be better, or is this just the dating pool of 20-something-year-olds? Especially
then,
when
like,
you keep fucking getting them from Miami.
True. Yeah, I think that it is like specifically with the ultimatum, the fact that the two men who like did okay were like in their early 30s is like we don't need to be platforming 23-year-olds or 50-year-old men who still haven't stopped partying.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Just like bums me out. Like me and Mary talked about this yesterday, but it's like you also just look at like I mean, this isn't like Roni's fault, I guess, but like I'm expected to watch a show where I'm gonna have to hear a bunch more content about the fucking Epstein files on my reality TV, or I'm like actually scared for the women on the Valley's safety with these men, or Charlie on Next Gen is like a part of a crypto hostage house and he's still just like there. And like it's just like I like I just don't know anymore. Like reality TV just doesn't feel ethical.
Yeah. And it's
And
supposed
like
to be like light.
yeah, and like there's always been like heavy things. Like it's people's real lives. People die,
Yeah.
people get divorced, people are being abused, whatever. But it's like we like those feel like rare enough that you like get to like be like, oh my God, there's so much gravity on this one thing.
Yeah.
And now it feels like it's nonstop. And for the most part, when it's not awful, awful things happening to people, reality TV, especially like Bravo, is a way for us to be like, hey, that's not my life. It's to like separate and be like, y'all got crazy, crazy lives as like rich people who do whatever, but like that's not me. I don't live in LA. I don't whatever. And now it's like I have to listen to the Epstein files, which is what I'm listening to like the news about. Like I have to hear about the dangers of crypto, just like I'm all like I just like it's just too infiltrating. And like seriously, I want just want everyone to educate themselves on the manosphere and then like be able to pinpoint this language. Like it is everywhere.
Really?
These men are like so entrenched, and it's like, of course they are. They're in their 20s and they're on the internet. I get manosphere content all the time because I watch it. And so the algorithm keeps giving it to me. But it's like I'm watching it to be like, oh my God, we should all be terrified.
Right.
But like men, men men are not smart. I'm so sorry. They're not watching this and being like, that's horrible. They're watching it and being like, finally, someone to stand up for me.
To talk about women of what do they call it? Women of
value.
Of value.
I worthy also like women.
I also feel like I like to watch reality television as a means of like escaping after I've watched a lot of true crime.
Sure.
I don't want
to watch
the
crime
television to be the crime.
Yeah, I'm cool. Or like, okay, literally when David said to Casey, I don't even remember what she was saying, but she said like men do that, and he said, you just think all men think the same, and they don't. And she said, y'all are not that complex. Actually, I just feel pretty sad. I like don't really know what to watch and not watch anymore. Especially as the person who writes pop culture scripts, like I'm like I feel like I should educate myself, but like truly, I said to Billy, like watching The Ultimatum, it feels like we are watching a true crime documentary. This whole thing, like I am watching and I am like terrified.
I think that we need to start making more shows again, like The Office and Parks and Rec, that are like fake documentaries.
Yes.
So that we can get a little bit of reality TV.
Yes.
Vibes.
Yeah.
But it's like...
Yeah. I was about to do, I'm like finishing the books, and so I was about to do my restart of The Handmaid's Tale, the show, and then go in to the Testaments that just came out. And Billy in the past has been like, I don't really want to watch The Handmaid's Tale. Like, it's like too much with the world right now. And I'm like, so then we like stick to reality TV. But now I'm like, honestly, I might be able to convince you because our reality TV is already getting into stuff we want to ignore. So
The Testaments is so good.
Is it?
Too, though.
Yeah, the book is so good. I'm like a quarter of the way through and I'm loving it. But yeah, I feel like I have to catch back up and like remember everything first. But anywho, that's all I got. Told you I would be kind of bummed. Send us any, like, do you have ethical reality TV, Rex? Can I?
Are they all throwbacks?
Yeah.
Like, we
Are
all
we
have
all
to go
just
back and
rewatching
rewatch
Wife Swap?
Jerseylicious.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm like, where's the people yelling about George W. Bush on Wife Swap? Take me back there.
Where's the note from Jersey Shore?
Yeah. All right. Anything else, ma'am?
Nor.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.